It's 11 p.m. and these are the headlines. President of the Republic chaired today a meeting of the Council of Ministers devoted to a bill on the protection of people with special needs and two presentations on the interconnection of the electricity networks in the north and the south of the country and the harvest threshing campaign for the season 2024. The President of the Republic received today the Director General of the UN Industrial Development Organization. The role of business councils in boosting economic diplomacy was highlighted today amid a seminar held in Algiers. And updates on Algeria's upcoming presidential election with Mohamed Shorfi coming up shortly, alongside the latest news of our community settled abroad concerning the registration process to obtain voter cards. The graduation ceremony of the 30th class of officer cadets for the year 2023-2024 took place in the Higher School for Aeronautic Techniques. Welcome back, everyone. First of all, the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired today a meeting of the Council of Ministers devoted to a bill on the protection of people with special needs and two presentations, notably the interconnection of the electricity networks in the north and the south of the country, the harvest threshing campaign for the season 2024, the monitoring of the construction of grain storage facilities, and the measures taken to modernize mobile and electronic payment systems. Manir Bahri with a statement released by the Presidency of the Republic.
First of all, and with regard to the harvest and threshing campaign for the year 2024, and after presenting the situation by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, from which it was concluded that Algeria would provide $1.2 billion for the benefit of the state treasury, following the abundant production achieved this season of durum wheat, which put Algeria on the verge of complete self-sufficiency. The President of the Republic ordered to set a strategic goal to expand the cultivated area in our Great South to 5,000 hectares, especially with the sisterly country of Qatar investing 11,700 hectares and Italy with 36,000 hectares, in addition to the national investment of 120,000 hectares. The President of the Republic stressed that our country is near to complete self-sufficiency as Algeria reached 80% of hard wheat production, which is produced by small quantities on the world market comparing to soft wheat. President Tebboune ordered the production of corn kernels and prevent the harvesting of this crop, a green plant, or in the stage of incomplete maturity. The President of the Republic then directs the Minister of Agriculture to involve farmers in raising awareness to improve the yield per hectare, which in the south must not be less than 55 quintals per hectare, given that these areas have water and electricity. Regarding the completion of a university hospital center in Tizi Ouzou province, the Council of Ministers agreed to implement a deal by mutual consent between the Consider complex and the Ministry of Housing to begin the work after completing all studies to implement this project for the benefit of the residents of Tizi Ouzou province with a capacity of 500 beds. Regarding the project to connect electricity networks between the north and the south of the country, the President of the Republic ordered to deeply study this project and to strengthen this network in Adrar, Bishar and Din Salah provinces. In view of the needs of our southern regions for electricity, especially in the summer season, in addition to the expansion of economic activities in our Great South, the President of the Republic directed the Minister of Energy to adopt the technique of laying electricity lines underground instead of poles, especially in cities, to enhance safety from natural disasters and to avoid losses. A draft law related to the protection and promotion of people with special needs was also approved, followed by the presentation of the progress report on the progress of digitization process, in addition to the content of a joint presentation on the measures taken to modernize electronic payment system via mobile phones. General directives with which the Council of Ministers concluded this meeting, where the President of the Republic ordered to remove the administrative obstacles that prevent the employment of young people in the structures and facilities affiliated with the youth and sports sectors in the southern provinces, in accordance with the available capacities. The President of the Republic also directed the government to initiate national connection operations from dams, especially the largest ones, according to a time-bound plan. The President of the Republic gave the government members strict directives to follow up citizens' concerns. He finally ordered to announce and inform citizens in advance via national radio whenever necessary in everything related to maintenance and settling any technical fluctuations to provide the population with different energies.
And the President of the Republic, Abdul Tebboune, received today the Director General of the UN Industrial Development Organization, Gerd Miller. The audience took place in the presence of the Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency of the Republic, Bou'alam Bou'alam, and the Minister of Industry and Pharmaceutical Production, Ali Aoun. Let's have a listen to the statement made by Gerd Miller.
It was a great honor and pleasure to talk with the President about further cooperation with UNIDO, the Industrial Development Organization of the UN. We agreed about the new quality of cooperation in the sector of sustainable industrialization with new projects, especially for young entrepreneurs. And a second very important sector was the plan of the President to invest in sustainable agriculture for the future to come to a higher productivity. And there, UNIDO is a very interested in a new partnership, especially invest in the young generation in the sector of vocational training and in transfer of technology and knowledge. It was really a great pleasure and honor to meet the President of this wonderful country and come to an agreement for a further new quality of cooperation. Thank you.
And the Vice President of the Republic of Turkey, Jawdat Yilmaz, arrived today in Algiers for a working visit. The Vice President of the Republic of Turkey was welcomed at Houari Boumediene International Airport by the Prime Minister, Adel Arbawi. A seminar on the role of business councils in boosting economic diplomacy was organized in Algiers by the Ministry of Trade, and this was in the presence of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Committee of Wad Ahmed Attaf. This meeting aimed to clearly set the objectives for these councils and to revive foreign trade by serving the interests of the country.
Business advice plays a vital role in economic development. Algeria intends to revitalize these organizations to serve business, investors, and thus the national economy. The Minister of Trade and Export, Tayyib Zitouni, stressed the need to review the activity of these councils while redefining their objectives.
كانت فيه ورشات قام بها القطاع مع كل الشركاء والفاعلين في
We organized workshops to support economic operators. The first took place with the Ministry of Finance, the second concerning logistics with the Ministry of Transport, and today we looked at an economic diplomacy. The approach to boost foreign trade cannot succeed without the contribution of the diplomatic apparatus present in the four corners of the world and whose skills are proven.
لن تحقق الأهداف المسطرة دون إشراك الجهاز الدبلوماسي.
This seminar also aimed to identify future perspectives while defining the necessary mechanisms to overcome the constraints which hinder the diplomatic role of business councils by strengthening their influence on the international scene in the wake of economic policy and the opening of Algeria abroad. In order to serve the interests of the country, Foreign Minister Ahmed Attaf underlined the importance of this meeting, which highlights the role assigned to one of the main mechanisms of economic diplomacy created with several brotherly, friendly and partner countries.
ولا يسعني في هذا المقام إلا أن أشيد بوجاهة هذه.
From this platform, I applaud this initiative, which comes at the right time in a context marked by an important economic dynamic whose objectives are known, a dynamic which brings the fruitful results of the reforms initiated by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, and his ambitious economic program.
نهضة واضحة الأهداف والمقاصد.
During the seminar, an interactive digital platform was officially launched. It brings together all the details to facilitate communication and the establishment of links between the Diplomatic and International Relations Institute and the Algerian Chamber of Commerce, with a view of strengthening the knowledge of economic operators in matters of foreign policy so that they can contribute effectively to the development of economic diplomacy.
And a one-day seminar on the role of the mediator of the Republic in improving public service was held today at the National School of Administration in the presence of the Minister of Interior, Brahim Murad. This event was organized to mark the United Nations Public Service Day, during which the mediator of the Republic recalled the principles of the administration at the service of the citizen, stressing that the President of the Republic placed the citizen at the center of his concerns and at the heart of all public policies.
The 2020 Constitution, with its Articles 26 and 27, enshrined the principle which stipulates that the administration is at the service of the citizens while guaranteeing its impartiality and the equality of the users in accessing the services without any discrimination. A new approach has been established in the treatment of the daily concerns of the citizens by the public authorities by adopting the principles of the participatory democracy and by favoring dialogue with the different actors during the elaboration and the implementation of the public policies, notably at the local level. And this is mainly based on the daily and continuous interaction between the different public authorities and the citizens.
The chairman of the Independent National Elections Authority announced today that 26 individuals willing to stand as candidates for the next presidential election have withdrawn their individual signature application forms. Taking the floor at a press conference held in the premises of this authority, Mohammed Sharfi stated that the process of submitting candidacy files by applicants across the 4,903 certification points will continue until the legal deadline expires, set at midnight on the 18th of July of the current year.
26 contenders for candidacy in the next 7th of September presidential elections have withdrawn the subscription forms from the authority for validation. 2,500,000 forms have been withdrawn till today. The last date for the forms withdrawal is the 18th of July 2024 at midnight. The checking of the files will continue till the 27th of July 2024. The final list of the selected candidates will be announced by the Independent National Authority for Elections on the 27th of July 2024. The deadline for submitting the application files to the Constitutional Court is Saturday, 3rd of August 2024.
And now we're heading to Lyon and Marseille, where our community living abroad is getting ready for the upcoming presidential election. The associative movement is mobilized and organized more than ever to raise awareness among our nationals and strengthen the institutional stability. عفاف بلوشات ياسين حمدي.
If you're in Lyon and you want to spend good times, the Opus Market is the place to be. And today, the atmosphere is marked by a special slogan.
En direct du marché aux puces, j'aime Blady et je vais voter. N'oubliez pas. Yeah.
I love my Blady and I will vote, a new slogan launched by the executives of the dynamic movement of the Algerian community living in France, who decided to be active to raise awareness among their compatriots about the importance of registering to vote.
Our executives are mobilized to raise awareness about voting in the Algerian presidential elections. It's very important that all the Algerians remain united during this period because we're stronger together and will succeed. I love my Blady and I'll vote.
With the registration forms in their hands, Hamid and Farida managed to get promising results.
I call all the Algerians to vote on the 7th of September. It's important to vote. It's a civil right.
This slogan was so powerful that it traveled hundreds of kilometers to reach Marseille, where the executives of the movement were mobilized with the same enthusiasm. Here, everything is ready thanks to the associative movements.
Hier, on a été accueillis, admirablement bien accueillis par notre consul général de Marseille.
Yesterday, we were warmly welcomed by the Consul General of Marseille, who invited us to raise our awareness on the upcoming presidential elections in Algeria. He explained everything to us. It's important for all the Algerians living everywhere in the world that Algeria is strengthened by these elections. Here in France, we're expecting hard times and we're worried. That's why we need a strong nation that can protect the Algerians living abroad.
The consulate in Marseille organizes weekly meetings for the different sectors, such as yesterday's meeting with the people in charge of worship in the city. Whether in Marseille or Lyon, everyone is motivated and ready for the D-Day.
In the Higher School for Aeronautic Techniques, Shahid Rahali Musa in Dar al-Bayda, the Division General Mahmoud Al-Araba, Commander of the Armed Forces, Air Forces, presided over the graduation ceremony of the 30th class of Officer Cadets for the year 2023-2024. Ilham Ashir and Najah Tayar.
The graduation ceremony for the 13th class of officer cadets at the Higher School of Aeronautical Techniques, Shahid Rahali Musa, was initiated with an inspection of the squares by the Commander of the Air Forces, the Major General Mahmoud Al-Araba. On this occasion, the Higher Commander of the Higher School of Aeronautical Techniques gave a speech highlighting the interest granted by the Army High Commander to education and training, and in particular the place occupied by this prestigious school.
أيها المتخرجون كونوا وفيا للقسم العسكري الذي ستؤدونه للدفاع عن هذا الوطن لتبقى الجزائر دائما شامخة قوية ومستقلة إلى الأبد بسواعد أبنائها الشرفاء الأوفياء لأرواح ودماء قوافل الشهداء الذين ضربوا أروع الأمثلة في الشهادة والكفاح من أجل الوطن.
After the oath-taking ceremony, the ranks and diplomas were awarded to the graduating students, including foreign students.
أمامنا نضع أمانة في أعناقكم.
That was followed by the handover of the national emblem from the previous class to the graduating one, which was named after the martyr Azzal Said. The ceremony also included military skills performance such as karate, judo and combating training. That was before the military parade performed by the graduating officers on the rhythm of a military brass band, demonstrating great precision and consistency mastery. Therefore, the Air Force's commander viewed the graduating officers' projects. And on this occasion, the Major General Mahmoud Laraba, commander of the Air Forces, honored the family of the martyr Azzal Said and went to sign the Golden Book.
And several Palestinians were killed and others were injured this evening in a series of Zionist air raids that targeted different areas of the Gaza Strip. The occupation artillery bombed the vicinity of displaced persons' tents in Al-Mawasi area, resulting in several casualties. 8 citizens were also killed this afternoon in a Zionist airstrike that targeted the headquarters of the Vocational Training College of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees west of Gaza City, while 9 were killed and others injured in a Zionist bombing that targeted a house in the Al-Sabra neighborhood south of Gaza City, city of Rafah, Nusayrat refugee camp and Al-Sabra neighborhood alongside the Shuhada Street, were at the scenes of the latest massacres committed by the Zionist occupier this day only. And the docking of a Zionist warship of the Moroccan port of Tanger has been strongly denounced by the Moroccan Front for the support of Palestine and against the normalization, deploring the state's silence while the Zionist aggression against Gaza has been savagely carried out since October 7th. The ship's stopover at the port of Tanger was used to refuel and to stock up on the fuel and food needed by its crew. The NGO also deplored the fact that the authorities did not follow the Spanish reaction against as Madrid refused to allow the Danish-flagged cargo ship Marianne Danica to dock at its port in Cartagena on the basis that it was carrying 27 tons of explosives destined for the Zionist entity. Tourism now, as the government support granted to the related authorities and investors has already bore fruit, promoting tourism on the Algerian coastline in the summer season. Cased in Port tonight of Jaya province with a report of Naima Haush taken out by Najataya.
Bijaya province, as any Algerian coast province, is progressively attracting investors in tourism sector around its mountains and seaside, such as the local authorities, who consider to turn the province's potentials to vital assets. And thanks to the new regulations, investors and tourism professionals are provided assistance and facilitations.
We have launched many tourist projects to receive the vacationers. We also undertook the renovation of several hotels. The authorities have supported the Tourism Directorate and Melbu Town Hall investment. We are working on the opening of a hotel that meets all the visitor standards.
In Melbu region, 80 investment projects are embarked, all constructed to meet the visitors' criteria. These future hotels will create 4,000 job opportunities.
Currently, we have 5 projects, including 4 hotels that are already operational, and the 5th in Oran is being renovated. We are constructing in several provinces such as Béjaïa, Algiers, Oran. The hotel capacity is 40 accommodations of high standards, restaurants, play areas, a pool and many other commodities to make the visitors stay nice and comfortable.
With these projects costing nearly 24 billion dinars, 14 tourism expansion zones will be realized by 2030, constituting a great added economic value to Bidayah province.
And that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.